Hey y'all, welcome into this little thing that we do here called Front Porch Conviviality. At Bales Farms, I am merely your humble host, Barry Bales, and I would like to also introduce to you the real star of the show, my lovely wife, Allison Bales. Hi.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm exhausted.
Well, you're very colorful.
Well, it's Friday.
Flashy.
I know. How do you like my shirt?
That is awesome. And I will say your shirt that you wore yesterday was even lovelier, but it's
Not here.
right.
I want to say a big thank you to all of my friends at Mossy Oak Camo for sending me a really nice care package. Thank you, Tim Anderson, for always keeping me cool and stylish in the field and on the water. I appreciate it. This is awesome. I've never had one of these before, but it's time to get in the boat and head out.
And the one that they sent that you wore yesterday was just as great. Very subdued, just as great.
Yeah, it was a nice short sleeve button up. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. With collar.
Yeah, good stuff.
Button down collar, everything. You could even wear it to church.
I could.
Yeah, with a little bow tie or something.
Well, let's don't go overboard. No pun intended. So here we are. Welcome or welcome back, as Andy Stanley would say. We're glad you're here. If you've never joined us before, we're just here on the farm, on the front porch. It's Friday afternoon, and we like to take a little bit of time to connect and reconnect with you all. Have a few cocktails, wind down, bring you up to date on what we've been doing, and just have a little fun.
Yep.
It's dry and it's hot.
It is very hot.
It is. I've been, besides all my regular stuff, I've been trying to get some food plots put in over at my duck club. It's not a duck club, it's a duck.
It's not a duck club because you won't let anybody join.
I need to make it a duck club and charge some dues.
And say no girls allowed.
Well, you don't want to go. Anyway, that has been mighty hot. This morning it was, well, the last couple of days it's been like mid 90s, and I looked when I was over there today and it was like 80, almost 85% humidity. This beautiful Mossy Oak fishing shirt that I have on is my fourth shirt of the day. That's how hot and humid it is. So you're doing triple duty on laundry. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm ready for like real fall.
Well, it's July. It's not time for fall.
Well, I didn't say it was, but I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
So anyway, what are you having to drink this afternoon?
I am having the last of the orange wine from Dry Farm Wines.
Is that what we had the other night?
Mm-hmm.
That was really good.
It was lovely, yes. What are you enjoying?
I'm having a ranch water.
Well, cheers.
Yes, cheers to you. Hopefully this will keep me hydrated and in a good mood.
Yes.
So, what do you? You've had a busy day.
Well, it's just been a busy week all the way around.
Well, it's always busy, but it's just been.
Well, this week is especially busy because it is the fair week.
Oh yeah,
the
Greene County Fair.
Fair Week, and praise Jesus,
That's Greene,
it's back.
Greene with 3 E's.
Yeah. And it's back. We didn't have it last year. We didn't get to have it. And so this year it's back with a vengeance. And they've been doing a great job.
Record crowds.
Yes, that Holly Layman's, Betty, and Reinhold, but Holly Layman's is running the show. And she's amazing. And they're having record crowds. They're having great entries. We've had lots of ribbons here at the house. Marshall's won a ribbon on everything he took in.
Well, give him a little quick recap of what Marshall has done. He had, I think he won first place on a Lego.
And then a first and a second on art.
First and a second on art.
And then...
And he got second on eggs.
And then second on...
Which he
I
should
know
have
those
got.
Castiles. It's those Castiles that beat us.
He should have gotten first on eggs, but he got a second place ribbon, and he's
Well,
selling them
they've
like
got
crazy.
the last of the black copper Morans.
See, that's the thing.
And those are the best eggs. If you can find a black copper Moran, those are, it's a heritage breed from France, and those are the best eggs, the most beautiful eggs.
Well, the eggs look like a Cadbury egg. I mean, they're like chocolate colored. The shells are. So
yes, and chefs love them.
and judges love them.
Yes, because they are beautiful. They are showstoppers. And he has buff eggs, so he took his buff eggs. He didn't even take his cinnamon
That's
queen
shorthand
eggs,
for Buff Orpington.
Yes, and so he took those, and then he took chocolate chip cookies and sugar cookies.
And got what for those?
I think second on those.
Yeah, I think so.
And those sugar cookies were the best sugar cookies I've ever had. I don't know who beat him.
Well, I'm still not 100% certain that they even taste the stuff.
This year they may not have.
Right.
And then
Last night was the big poultry show, junior poultry show.
Yes, we've had several questions about that.
Well,
Shall we
if
jump
you
in?
want to know anything about, we will answer the questions, but I also highly recommend that you get on your favorite TV provider and try to find a show called Chicken People.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, one of the guys that was on it was the judge last night.
People, we don't mess around here in Greene County.
Big time.
Yes.
So Marshall entered one of his Cinnamon Queens, and he took first place.
Cindy Queen.
Cindy. Get along home, Cindy. He got first place in his age group for showmanship.
Mm-hmm. In high school. And he's a rising ninth grader, so he's
still got lots of eligibility.
Right. Well,
so does that name?
But he was the youngest one.
Does that name, image, likeness thing? Does that roll over to chicken shows?
Are you wanting to get some
sponsorship? Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Fulke got pals this week.
Maybe Marshall could get pals.
Maybe
he could
so.
be the junior pals spokesman.
Junior pals, get it? They've got the right.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah. But we've had some questions about what we do to get the chickens ready, because if you followed us yesterday on Instagram, you saw our stories where I use the term we loosely.
Well,
someone wasn't here to join in the festivities.
Well, I was working on food plots, trying to kill ducks and put food on our table.
Oh my gosh. Anyway.
Well, let me interject this part. I don't know if most of y'all have probably been to a fair, but I don't know if you know the amount of work and the attention to detail that particularly like the people that show cattle go into, like the trimming and the hairspray and all that kind of stuff. So I know that on a professional level, like people in the chicken people that do the circuit, there's a lot more involved. But for people that just raise pasture chickens.
And this was just for the kids. The show last night was just for the kids, and no adults showed.
Right.
We're just trying to keep kids interested and active in agriculture, and that's our goal. Mm-hmm. And praise the Lord for Kim Castile and Holly Lamans, who really put this on.
Yep.
And so
the questions about
the questions about what we do to get ready. So about 3:00, Marshall and I helped him yesterday gather his eggs and feed and water, because we had to do it early, and he needed to catch his chicken that he wanted, and so that was going to take a minute. So he caught his chicken, brought it up, and gave her a very good bath, and then used a hairdryer on her to make her all glossy and shiny. And
Well, I will say, when I walked in, I went straight from the bottom up to the fair, and when I walked in and you told me which chicken was ours, I was like, I didn't think we had any chickens that were that good looking. So you did a good job.
Poop on her legs.
You did a good job.
Yes. I will say I was the scrubber of the poop off of the feet. But anyway, because he had to hold her.
Well, you need to share in that prize money.
Yes, he had to hold her, because they're not like cats. Somebody said, are they like cats? They're not like cats, but, especially on a hot day like that, boy, she really liked the cool bath.
I bet.
And so we took her over and they test them to make sure that there's no diseases or sickness. And then the judge, you're judged in separate categories. We have a pre-K and kindergarten category, basically. Well, pre-K category, and then kindergarten through second grade, and then third through fifth, and then middle school, and then high school. And they're judged on two things in two categories. One is showmanship, and that is how much the student knows about all things chicken, the anatomy, the physiology,
Well, I think
behavior, health.
at a certain age, they want to know. I mean, they basically, I think, are trying to figure out: are you actually the one taking
Right.
care of this chicken?
Right? Who helps you feed the chickens? And we had some cute little kids that were in pre-K. Little Alistair Turner. He was
First timer.
yes, first timer. He was, well, of course, he was first timer. He was in diapers last year probably, and
you gotta
he
start
and
early.
his dad showed his little chicken, and he named his chicken "Who Let the Dinosaurs Out." And she was a very good chicken. She was a nice little girl. And his brother Ian, who's going into second grade, I helped Ian show, and he had a humongous rooster. And that rooster's name is Captain Clucker.
Colonel.
Colonel Clucker, excuse me. Captain was the other one. And he was humongous. And they both won for
he was-
showmanship.
He was about that
huge.
big.
And no one could believe he was less than a year old, that
And
rooster.
he wasn't afraid. He just
Yep. He handled Colonel like it was his job. And then the judge comes around, asks them many questions, and then they're awarded on that. That's what Marshall won a blue ribbon in. And then they are judged on breed standards. And Marshall did not win on that. We didn't pick a chicken out based on breed standards. Marshall picked his favorite chicken out. That's how we always do it.
and I think probably the majority of chickens that are entered in quote unquote real shows with the intention of trying to move on are probably not free range pasture chickens.
No.
They're babied.
Right. Inside. Yes.
So
Yes. So it was just a fun night all the way around.
well, yeah,
You had a corn dog.
I did. I had a footlong corn dog. That's my favorite junk food is corn dogs.
Wow. While I was over there showing chickens, you were eating a corn dog.
Well, I hadn't had supper.
I hadn't either.
Well, I
And
brought
had
you
to do
French
the
fries and you
dance
didn't eat them.
because I was busy. And then Marshall had a, what did he have?
I forget what they called it. There was some guy from Louisiana that brought a food trailer up to be in the fair, to be one of the vendors. And it was, I assume it was kind of like a cookie waffle cone kind of thing that was made like a snorkel, and then it's filled with soft serve ice cream. So Marshall comes walking down the grandstand like he's about to go deep sea diving with this big thing, and he's eating ice cream out of it.
It was the sugar smacks it was like a sugar smack. That's what the cone was, the snorkel thing. Remember that cereal with the with the frog?
Dig 'em.
Yes. What was your favorite cereal as a kid? Let me guess. Grape Nuts.
No, but my dad did eat grape nuts.
Oh yes, everybody's dad ate Grape Nuts because they were so healthy.
Oh,
they were so
It's like
healthy.
eating gravels.
You could hear them. That's what would wake me up
That's
in
probably
the morning.
that's a dentist's favorite food.
That is the primary
Keeps him in
cause of
business.
TMJ.
I don't know. I went through spells. I ate Sugar Smacks. I ate Fruit Loops, Captain Crunch. I really liked Captain Crunch because I like peanut butter.
Uh-huh.
Although it's like taking razor blades to the roof of your mouth. There was a time there Mom would actually make cream of wheat. I felt like Tiny Tim. But what was yours?
I liked
Frosted
Rice
Flakes was good.
Krispies. Yeah, Frosted Flakes. Yes. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's a good one. Yeah, Fruity Pebbles.
I never did Fruity Pebbles. I did Cocoa Pebbles.
Cocoa Pebbles were good too, but then you could drink the milk afterwards. It was so nutritious.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, all those were good. Do you remember Boo Berry and
I never did any of those, but I remember them.
Count
Count
Chocula?
Chocula, yeah. There was
And
three.
Frankenberry.
Frankenberry.
Those were all really good.
Very healthy.
Those were good. Yes. I was really into the toaster strudels. That was my jam.
Yeah.
Those were great.
I had not blueberry. Did they have a blackberry Pop-Tart?
They had a blue raspberry Pop-Tart. That might have been after your time.
That was after my time, yeah. Mine was probably in black and white.
Did you eat the toasted? I mean, not the toasted, the frosted?
Oh, totally.
Those
Because you got to get enough. You got to get enough
are
sugar
terrible.
for the day. I mean, if you're going off to school, you got to have enough sugar.
That's right.
And when we were in our Rice Krispies kick, I would always take like 2 or 3 spoonfuls of sugar and put on them.
Yes. Well, they're playing without them. So here's what I don't understand. Kids these days are really limited on their sugar, right? I mean, you got to be organic sugar. You can't just have all this stuff.
Yeah.
We were jacked up on sugar from before the sun came up
Oh my
until we
gosh.
fell in the bed.
Yeah.
And it didn't affect us.
No. What's wrong with these kids?
I don't know. Here comes Marshall.
There's Marsh Peppy. What else? More questions? We got time for one more? We had questions about
We had many
that
questions.
wasn't a specific question.
We
It was
had
kind of an
many
overview.
questions about that. Do you want to get into, or do you want to keep people hanging till the next one on the day on the farm? What it's like for a day on the farm? That's going to be really long.
That's probably, we should probably just dedicate one to that so that
Okay.
people are not
All right.
checking their watches.
Yes, well, they're probably checking their watches now. So
Well, if we have any repeat viewers at this point,
they're
then,
just waking up from their nap.
then we're doing okay. So let's see, today's Friday.
Yes.
We went to the fair last night.
We've been to the fair a lot. Well, you haven't. Marshall and I have been to the fair a lot.
Well, you've had to go up there and register and take your stuff and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't talk about your stuff.
No, we don't need to.
Yes. You entered an apple pie, and this is what makes me think they don't taste them. You got second place.
Well, I don't know who beat me, but next year I'm taking them out. I'm going
was
to put
probably-
salt on that.
Clara Johnson.
Going to go and put salt on their pie. It was all fruits.
Is that
The
all that you put
category
in?
was all fruits. No, I put in bread too.
And
Just
you
because
got-
I needed to make bread.
Then you got second? Well, yeah, I mean, you've not been
Erin
making...
Turner's mother-in-law beat me on that one.
Golly.
She's a professional baker.
Well, that's not fair.
Well, I mean, not really. I mean, she's not really a professional baker. I mean, that's what she does all the time. I just took one up there just because my recipe makes 2 loaves, and I've got to make it again tomorrow, but I had to make bread because Marshall was about to protest. Because he has to have his grilled cheese
Oh, that's true.
for lunch.
Yep.
Marshall is a cheese guy.
Yeah. Okay, so what do we need to leave them with to let them know about, to have them look for anything? Any like cool, like watch this, read that kind of stuff to lay on them?
Upcoming.
We're
fun
out
things.
of stuff to watch. Every time
up,
we find
up.
something to watch, we binge watch it and we get done with it and we're like, it's over.
I know 2 things to leave them with. One is a book and one is a TV show. The TV show is Barry
I don't know the actual name of the show.
Clarkson Farms.
Okay. So there's this guy in England who I had never heard of, but evidently all the rest of the world knows him. Jeremy Clarkson, who was on the British version of Who Can Be a Millionaire, or Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Top Gear, all kinds
I'm
of
sure all
things.
sorts of other stuff.
One of the top celebrities in
Wouldn't
Britain.
have known who he was if he walked up here and punched me in the face.
He might.
So he has this show on
Prime.
Amazon Prime.
Everything's on Amazon Prime.
Evidently for a investment, he bought a 1,000-acre farm from where he's from in England, which in England, a 1,000-acre farm is like owning Montana. Yeah. So the guy that was his farm manager and doing everything retired. So he decided he was going to start doing it. He had no experience whatsoever.
And this was in fall of 2019.
So he had a film crew follow him around.
For 1 year.
And showed all this going through. And like for example, his financial guy is very astute to farming. And he gave him a list of all the implements and equipment that he needed. So he needed a tractor. So he went and bought an actual Lamborghini tractor, right? And it's like I don't know, 300 horsepower tractor.
It's as big as our house.
It's like 2 stories tall. It's ridiculous. But anyway, for somebody like me, it's fascinating because it's farming on a large scale, and then to see that amount of detail to it, but it not be just some dry, boring documentary. You know, he's funny. It's there's some language, so don't watch it with the kiddos, but I enjoyed it greatly.
Yes, it was very funny. I have actually recommended it to several friends. I will say this, it's great if you're not traveling because it will satisfy the traveling bug because you get to see beautiful landscape, you get to hear someone talk about some place that's different than where you are now. It is beautiful. It's funny. He's very, very funny. Mm-hmm. There are very likable characters in it. And it's not a huge time commitment. I think it was 7 hours total. I think it was.
Yeah, there were 7 episodes.
7 episodes.
Yeah.
And then the other piece of entertainment, it is a book, and it's actually I saw it several years ago when we were in Ireland, and I almost picked it up. But it is. And I didn't, and I'm glad that I waited, and now I listened to it on Audible, and it was wonderful. It's called Call the Nurse, and it is about, it's actually from Scotland, but it's pretty close. And so it's a Scottish gal that reads it, and it's about one of the Hebrides Islands, and she's the nurse on the island, and it is just lovely, and it's just so nice to hear tales from a place that you don't get to visit right now, and just to see people coming together and loving on each other and helping each other out. It was just a really nice listen as I drive around doing deliveries. So it was nice. So I would recommend those 2 things.
Brilliant.
Yes.
All right, well, let's leave them with that.
Okay.
Y'all have a great weekend. Stay safe and sane and healthy and happy. And we'll see you next time. Cheers.